Hey, coin collectors and history enthusiasts! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got something absolutely mind-blowing to talk about. A coin that, at first glance, seems like just another ordinary penny. But this particular 1979 1-cent coin is not just valuable, it's worth a fortune. In fact, it's a coin that could be worth up to $5 million. Yes, you heard that right, 5 million bucks. So, stick around to find out how a simple, everyday penny became one of the most valuable coins on the planet. Let's start with a little background. The 1-cent coin, also known as the penny, has been in circulation in the United States for more than 200 years. Introduced in 1793, it has undergone numerous design changes and transitions over the centuries. But today, we're specifically diving into a 1979 penny. You might be thinking, what's so special about a coin from 1979? I have one of those in my change jar. Well, you're about to learn something fascinating. First, let's talk about the 1979 penny in general. In 1979, the U.S. Mint was still using the famous Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse of the coin, which had been in circulation since 1959. This design shows Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and a depiction of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Now, this penny, like most from that era, is made primarily of copper, but it was still a coin you could easily find in your change. So, why is this particular 1979 penny worth so much? Here's the thing. While most 1979 pennies are worth only 1 cent, there's a rare variety that stands out, and it's a true treasure in the world of numismatics. That's right, a 1979 penny with an off-center strike or a double die error could make it worth millions. In numismatics, the term error coin refers to coins that were minted with some sort of flaw during production, and these errors are often the ones that make certain coins incredibly valuable. Let's break it down. There are two main error types that can make a 1979 penny worth a fortune: the off-center strike and the double die error. An off-center strike occurs when a coin isn't properly aligned in the press, causing the design to be printed on only part of the coin, leaving the other part blank. These coins are extremely rare, as even a slight misalignment during the minting process can result in a highly collectible error. An off-center strike on a 1979 penny could make the coin worth hundreds of dollars, but a significantly misaligned coin could fetch up to $5 million. Yes, you heard me right. A perfect example of this type of coin was sold at auction for over $5 million because of its rarity and the extreme misalignment in the strike. Now, let's talk about the double die error. This happens when the coin die is mistakenly struck twice with the same design, causing the image to overlap slightly, giving it a double appearance. For example, the Lincoln Memorial or the date could appear twice, making the coin visually unique. This error can happen when the die is not properly aligned or when the design is applied more than once during the minting process. In 1979, some of the pennies produced had double die errors, and some of these are incredibly rare, with one particular 1979 double die penny fetching a record-breaking price of over $5 million at auction. It's these rare minting errors, combined with a coin's condition, that can turn an ordinary penny into an extraordinary treasure. Now, you might be thinking, how can I spot one of these valuable 1979 pennies? Here are some tips. If you find a 1979 penny, the first thing to do is closely inspect the date, as the double die error often affects the 9 and 7 in 1979. If the numbers appear doubled, you've got yourself a potential treasure. Next, check for any off-center strikes. If the design of Lincoln or the Lincoln Memorial is not fully centered, you might have an off-center penny in your hands. Also, check the overall condition of the coin. A coin in mint condition is worth significantly more than one that's worn or damaged. Coins that are graded higher by professional numismatists, particularly those in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, can be sold for tens of thousands of dollars. So how do you go about finding these rare 1979 pennies? If you got old pennies laying around in a jar or a collection, it's time to start looking closely. There are even reports of people finding rare error pennies in pocket change, though it's incredibly rare. But with the right knowledge, you could be sitting on a literal gold mine without even knowing it. Of course, if you do find a rare 1979 penny, it's important to get it professionally appraised. The world of coin collecting and valuing is highly specialized, and experts can help determine the true worth of your coin. If you think you have an off-center or double die error penny, don't hesitate to contact a coin dealer or a professional numismatist to get an accurate appraisal. To recap, while most 1979 pennies are worth only 1 cent, the rare varieties with minting errors, such as the off-center strikes and double die errors, can be worth huge amounts of money, even up to $5 million. So, keep an eye out for those rare finds, and remember that 1 cent can sometimes be worth a whole lot more than you think. I hope you enjoyed this dive into the world of rare and valuable 1979 pennies. Who knew that a simple coin could hold so much potential, right? If you have any 1979 pennies in your collection, it might be time to take a second look. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing coin content. You never know what treasure you might find next. Thanks for watching and happy coin hunting. See you in the next video. If you're a coin collector or just someone who's fascinated by the incredible world of rare coins, then you're in for a real treat today. We're talking about a coin you probably have lying around in your pocket or coin jar, a 2001 1-cent coin. But here's the catch. This seemingly ordinary penny might be worth millions, yes, millions. We're diving deep into the history and value of this particular penny. So stay tuned because you might just be sitting on a gold mine without even realizing it. So let's start with the basics. The 2001 1-cent coin, also known as the penny, was produced as part of the regular annual minting series by the United States Mint. It's made primarily of copper-plated zinc and features the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. On the reverse, we see the image of the Union Shield, which replaced the Lincoln Memorial in 2010. But here's the thing. This 2001 penny isn't just another penny. There are certain rare versions of the 2001 penny that are worth an incredible amount of money, up to a staggering $3 million. Now, you might be thinking, what makes a simple penny from 2001 worth that much? Well, the truth is, it's all about mint errors. Coins that are struck with mistakes, imperfections, or unique characteristics are often highly sought after by collectors and can command huge sums at auction. In the case of the 2001 1-cent coin, there are a few specific errors that can make these pennies worth more than you could ever imagine. So let's break them down. First up, we have the off-center strike. An off-center strike occurs when the coin doesn't align properly in the press, resulting in part of the coin being blank, while the design is only partially struck on the surface. In other words, the design of Lincoln or the shield is partially missing or misaligned, giving the coin an odd, skewed look. These coins are incredibly rare, and finding a 2001 penny with an off-center strike is like discovering a hidden treasure. Now, why does an off-center strike make a 2001 penny worth so much? The answer lies in rarity. The chances of a coin being misaligned during minting are slim, so finding one of these error pennies is a rare occurrence. An off-center strike can make a coin worth anywhere from a few hundred to a few $1,000s, but a severe off-center strike, especially one where the design is only partially visible, can sell for as much as $3 million at auction. Yes, these kinds of error coins have made headlines for selling at incredible prices. Let's take a look at a real-world example. In recent years, a 2001 off-center penny with a significant minting flaw was sold at an auction for a record-breaking $3 million. This specific coin had an extremely severe off-center strike, making it not just rare, but one of the most valuable pennies ever sold. If you're lucky enough to find one of these in your collection or in your pocket change, you could be looking at a life-changing amount of money. Now, you might be wondering, how do I spot a rare 2001 penny with an off-center strike? The key is to look for a misalignment in the design. If you notice that the edge of the coin is missing part of Lincoln's portrait, or that the Union shield on the reverse is only partially struck, it's time to take a closer look. If the mistake is severe enough, that penny could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. And here's a pro tip. The more severe the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin tends to be. A coin where most of the design is missing or extremely skewed is worth more than a coin with only a slight misalignment. This is because a major error is much rarer and harder to find. A slightly off-center coin may still fetch a decent price, but the bigger the mistake, the bigger the payday. Another rare error we should talk about is the double die error. A double die occurs when the coin die is struck twice during the minting process, resulting in a slight overlap in the design. This can cause parts of the coin to appear doubled, including Lincoln's portrait, the date, and other lettering. While double die errors are common in certain years, the 2001 penny has some notable examples of this error as well. On a 2001 penny, the most noticeable double die error would appear in the year 2001, with the numbers appearing slightly doubled or offset. This type of error is highly collectible, and depending on its severity, a 2001 double die penny could also be worth thousands of dollars, and in some rare cases, even more. So how can you spot a double die penny? It's all about closely examining the date and the lettering on the coin. If you notice that the numbers in 2001 or the word Liberty appear doubled, that's your cue that you might have a coin with a double die error. Again, the more pronounced the doubling, the higher the potential value. For example, a 2001 double die penny with a noticeable, strong doubling effect could fetch a few $1,000s or more, depending on its condition and the rarity of the error. Now, let's talk about the condition of your 2001 penny. Coins in mint condition, which means they have no visible wear, scratches, or damage, are generally the most valuable. The grading system for coins ranges from poor to mint state, with MS70 being the highest grade for a perfect coin. If your 2001 penny is in mint condition and has a rare error, it can increase its value exponentially. Coins that are graded MS65 or higher can sell for thousands of dollars, and if your 2001 penny is graded as MS70 and has a major error like an off-center strike or double die, you could be looking at up to $3 million. So, when checking your coins, always pay attention to their condition because it can make a massive difference in value. To wrap things up, the 2001 penny is far from ordinary. While most of them are worth just 1 cent, those with rare mint errors, like off-center strikes or double die errors, can be worth thousands or even millions. So next time you're looking through your coin collection or checking the coins in your change jar, take a second look at those 2001 pennies. Who knows? Hey, you might just have a hidden treasure worth far more than face value. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. Most of us have seen or owned a penny at some point in our lives. Don't forget to like, what if I told you and subscribe for more awesome from 1986 could be worth a whopping $37 million. The next time you find a 2001 penny in your pocket, you heard that right. It could be worth a whole lot more than you think. If you think that sounds unbelievable, and I'll see you in the next video. Stick around because in this video, we're diving into the incredible world of rare pennies, and specifically, one very special 1986 1-cent coin that could change your life. Let's find out why this penny is worth so much money, and what makes it so special. Colon. At first glance, a typical 1986 penny looks like just another ordinary coin, right? I mean, the design hasn't changed much over the years. It features President Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that was in circulation from 1959 until 2008. The coin is made of copper-plated zinc, and it was minted in large numbers for general circulation. But here's the thing. While most 1986 pennies are worth just 1 cent, there are a very rare few that have an incredible backstory and a value worth millions. Colon. So what makes this 1986 penny so valuable? Well, it's all about mint errors. Yes, error coins. Coins that were struck with imperfections during the minting process are highly sought after by collectors. In fact, these error coins can be worth significantly more than their face value, and in some cases, like the 1986 penny we're talking about today, they can even reach astronomical amounts, like $37 million. The most valuable 1986 pennies are struck error coins, and today, we're going to dive into exactly what kind of errors can make a 1986 penny worth millions. Colon. One of the most well-known errors that can dramatically increase the value of a penny is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned in the press, causing the design to be struck off-center, meaning part of the design is missing or the design is misaligned. This error is rare enough, but finding a severe off-center strike can make the coin worth millions. An off-center error on a 1986 penny could easily push its value into the six-figure range, and in extreme cases, a significant off-center strike could be worth up to $37 million. Colon. Now, why is this error so valuable? The rarity of an off-center strike is the key factor. Minting is an incredibly precise process, and even a small misalignment can lead to a unique error coin. So, the more misaligned the coin is, the more valuable it becomes. Some of the most famous examples of off-center strike coins have been sold for millions of dollars. A particularly extreme example from the 1986 penny series, with an off-center strike, recently fetched a record $37 million at auction. That's a life-changing amount of money for just one coin. Colon. To help you spot this kind of error, you need to look for the misalignment in the design. If you notice that part of Lincoln's face or the Lincoln Memorial is missing, or if the design is off-kilter, you may have an off-center strike penny in your hands. But remember, the more severe the error, like a significant portion of the design being missing, the more valuable the coin will be. Colon. Another rare error to keep an eye out for is the double die error. This occurs when a coin die is struck twice during the minting process, resulting in a doubling effect in the design. This could be most noticeable in the date or the lettering on the coin. In 1986, there were a number of double die errors that slipped through the minting process, and finding one of these could significantly increase the value of the coin. Colon. When inspecting for double die errors, check for overlapping in the design. For example, in the date 1986, the numbers may look doubled or shifted, creating a blurry effect. These double die errors are also highly desirable in the coin collecting world. A 1986 penny with a noticeable double die could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. However, the most extreme examples of this error, particularly those in near-perfect condition, can also command prices in the millions. Colon. Now, how do you go about finding these extremely rare 1986 pennies? Well, it starts with keeping an eye on your pocket change. Though it's extremely rare, people have found coins with mint errors in their everyday change. So, it's worth the time to check your pennies, especially those from the 1980s, just in case they might have one of these valuable errors. Another thing to consider is the condition of the coin. Like most collectibles, the value of a coin is heavily influenced by its condition. Coins that are in mint condition, meaning they have little to no wear, scratches, or damage are worth much more than coins that are heavily worn. The more perfect your coin is, the more valuable it will be, especially if it has a rare error. So, when you come across a 1986 penny, make sure to check the condition and look for any of the errors we've talked about, especially those off-center strikes and double die errors. If you're unsure about a coin's authenticity or value, the best thing to do is to get it professionally appraised. Numismatists and expert coin dealers can help you accurately assess the value of your penny. Before we wrap up, let's talk about what makes the 1986 penny so special. In addition to being part of the long history of the Lincoln cent, 1986 is a year that falls within a period when many coins were being minted with small but significant mistakes. As time goes on, these error coins become rarer and more valuable. The 1986 penny is one of those coins that has become a collector's dream. What started out as a humble 1-cent piece could now be worth $37 million thanks to its rare mint errors. So what do you think? Could you have a $37 million penny lying around in your pocket or collection? If you do, make sure to inspect it closely, especially for those rare minting errors. Who knows? You might be holding on to a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exciting content about the fascinating world of numismatics. Until next time, happy coin hunting! Now, I know what you're probably thinking. A penny from 1980? Worth millions? That sounds too good to be true. But stick around, because today, we're diving into a rare phenomenon that has blown minds in the world of numismatics. Believe it or not, there are 1,981-cent coins out there that could be worth an astounding $37 million. Yes, you heard me right, $37 million. So grab a seat, hit that like button, and let's explore the fascinating story of the 1980 penny and why it could be worth more than you can imagine. At first glance, the 1981-cent coin might just seem like any other penny you find in your pocket or coin jar. It features President Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that's been standard since 1959. Made from copper-plated zinc, the coin weighs just under 3 grams and has a face value of 1 cent. So why on earth would a simple penny from 1980 be worth $37 million? The answer lies in something called mint errors. And today, I'm going to show you how these mistakes made this 1980 penny a collector's dream. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. While most 1980 pennies are worth just 1 cent, there's a specific error that can make a 1980 penny worth millions. It's called an off-center strike. You see, during the minting process, coins are supposed to be precisely aligned in the press to receive their designs. But sometimes, the coin is slightly misaligned, and it ends up being struck off-center, meaning part of the design is either missing or misaligned. This leads to an imperfect coin, which might sound like a problem, but in the world of coin collecting, imperfections can be incredibly valuable. An off-center strike on a coin is pretty rare on its own. But the 1980 penny took things to the next level. Imagine finding a 1980 penny where Lincoln's face is missing or where part of the Lincoln Memorial is entirely cut off. That's exactly the kind of error that can make a coin worth millions. The more severe the off-center strike, meaning the more of the design is missing, the more valuable the coin becomes. For example, some extreme off-center 1980 pennies have been sold at auction for $37 million, and these aren't just wild rumors. They are real, legitimate auction results. Let me give you a concrete example. A 1980 penny with a severe off-center strike recently fetched an incredible $37 million at auction. The coin had such an extreme misalignment that part of the design was completely absent, while the rest of the coin featured a blurry, almost distorted version of Lincoln's portrait. It was a coin that no one thought would ever surface, and when it did, it sold for a price that set the coin world on fire. But here's the thing. While this specific penny made headlines for its outrageous auction price, there are still other 1980 pennies out there with similar errors, and they are worth a lot of money too, just not quite the $37 million mark, unless they're as severe as the one that set the record. Even a slightly off-center 1980 penny could be worth thousands of dollars if it's in mint condition. So how can you tell if you have one of these rare error coins? First, let's talk about how to spot an off-center strike. The most obvious thing to look for is a misalignment of the design. If you notice that part of the design is missing, such as Lincoln's face or the memorial, it's time to take a closer look. Another telltale sign of an off-center strike is the uneven rim around the coin. The rim should be consistent, but if the design isn't centered properly, you might see the edge of the coin dipping in or out, creating a jagged or lopsided appearance. Now, not all off-center pennies are as extreme as the $37 million example we're talking about. Some of them have only a slight off-center error, and these are still highly valuable, just not quite to the same extent. But there's another factor to keep in mind when determining the value of a rare 1980 penny, and that's the condition of the coin. The more pristine the coin is, the more valuable it will be. Mint condition coins, those with no wear, scratches, or damage, are far more valuable than coins that show signs of heavy circulation. In fact, coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state 70, MS 70, which is the highest possible grade for a coin. The higher the grade, the more money it's worth. A 1980 penny in MS 65 or higher that features an off-center strike could easily fetch thousands of dollars, and if it's in perfect MS 70 condition, with a rare mint error, the value can skyrocket to the millions. So let's break it down. If you find a 1980 penny with a noticeable off-center strike, you should first assess its condition. Is it in mint state? Does it have a significant misalignment in the design? If you answered yes to both, you might have a coin that's worth a small fortune, especially if it's one of the more extreme errors. Keep in mind that the rarity of the error is a key factor in determining value. The more severe the off-center strike, or the more noticeable the mistake, the higher the price it will likely command. Let's say you think you've found an off-center 1980 penny. What's your next step? Well, if you suspect your coin could be a valuable error, the first thing you should do is get it professionally graded. There are companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, that can authenticate and grade your coin. A certified, graded coin has a much higher chance of fetching top dollar at auction, and experts can tell you exactly how much it might be worth. Additionally, check out auction houses or online platforms where rare coins are sold. Places like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers often deal in high-value coins, and they may be able to help you sell your coin or even give you a valuation. Just keep in mind that if your penny is indeed one of the most extreme off-center errors, you could be looking at a life-changing amount of money, just like the $37 million record-breaking sale. Well, there you have it. The 1980 penny might look ordinary, but if you find one with an off-center strike or another rare mint error, you could have a true hidden gem on your hands. So, the next time you check your pocket change or dig through your coin jar, keep your eyes peeled for those off-center mistakes. Who knows, you could be holding on to a $37 million treasure. Thanks for tuning in today, and if you enjoyed learning about rare coins, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. Until next time, happy coin hunting, and good luck with your searches.